Hi, everybody. This is Robert Jackson. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. And today is going to be very different because I have my first, and this is kind of something that is very unique and interesting because I have my first deaf guest that I have on the show, and which is why we have an interpreter, our lovely interpreter here. So thank you so much for helping out with this as well. But yeah, we have our special guest, Antoinette Abbamonte. Am I saying it right? Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, yeah, like I said, this is going to be very interesting. So thank you so much for joining me today and glad to
Well,
have you
I don't
here.
know how to say my last name, but I will rely on the interpreter to let you know if you have pronounced it correctly.
All right, sweet. But thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, I'm glad that that we finally got this to work. And yeah, let's have a good time here. So I guess to really start this off, what is, how would you say that 2025 has been? Because I know you've been working on multiple projects, and yeah, I'd like to talk to you real briefly about some of the work that you've been doing this year and just some of the stuff that you've been working on as of late.
Absolutely. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me to the show for this interview. I feel honored. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, I would say, sure, thank you. You asked me a question in regards to the work that I've done over the past year. Well, I will have to say that I am thrilled. I am delighted to do this project right now. I can't wait to see all the script that I've done and turn the script into something live so the audience will get a chance to hear what I have to share. I spoke with Jed Dickerson, and he's the producer for the movie Coda. He produced this movie, excuse me, a few years ago, and he won an award for it. And currently, I have been working with him. Oh, I'm so happy to work with him. He's a producer. We've been working together as a team, and I believe that us working together as this is going to be really successful. Um, we're going to brainstorm everything. We have two editors who will be working with us, and we're going to make this happen. And I'm really excited about this, and I'm so honored. In regards to our cultural language perspective, I felt like this is very, very valuable to show our culture and expose other people to what we want to show them so they can enjoy the language, the stories, and have an open mind and heart for what we want to show them and the things that's going on in the deaf community. We want to connect with the general public and show them the stories that we want to share. And this is very valuable for all of us. This is something that's near and dear to my heart.
So awesome. I because I remember when we talked on LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken, and by via phone, I really think that for me personally,
LinkedIn,
I just find.
LinkedIn.
Hmm?
It was LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn. Yeah, it was through LinkedIn. So when we were talking, like you were just telling a lot about, the stuff that you were working on, and I just really have to commend you for doing a lot of this. Like I actually did take a look at some of the other work that you've done, like as an actress and, producer and writing all this stuff. And yeah, it just really is so unique and interesting that you're doing a lot of kind of like the big Hollywood, like being into the industry for so long and, just working as, um, like I said, somebody who has a lot of unique, how can I put this? Like for people that are like getting into this, but they have like, something that, like whether it's a disability, which I don't really consider it as a disability, it's more like, uh, a unique gift that we have that we can use it and provide our own unique voices and experiences and offer something that not a lot of audiences out there have really seen up to date. So that's so awesome that you're doing all of this. And I just thank you once again for doing this today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to share and mention that I really appreciate that you look at me as a human being, not as a person with a disability. I know there are many different labels, but you actually look at me as a human being. And I've been working really hard to connect my stories with the public so you guys understand what's going on. And I believe that making this production into a movie is very key. It's key. And I want people to grow and understand. And as a movie director, I would love to connect with everyone, connect with the audience again. I'm very thrilled. I'd like to see other people enjoy, know what's going on. Just for mental health, wellness. I know this is a high stress job, and I do find ways that I can cope with this type of production. I run every day, every morning. When I take a bath, I use that moment to do a wusa. I eat well, I eat correctly and healthy, and this helps me to maintain my mental health. And as an actor, I know it's a huge challenge for me as a person with a disability. And I know gotten rejected often. Um, there are more no's than yes. And I've been turned down many, many times. So I find many different ways to persevere and go through. And some people trust me to share what I have to share with them. And it gives me the momentum to stand, to be resilient, and to keep going, to endure. And for funding stability, it's not the greatest job to keep funds, but I'm learning how to save money, where to spend money. And as an actor, I have to learn to, actress, excuse me, I have to learn to do that. And I have been taught how to balance work with personal life. Um, it's very tough. And also, I feel like I'm grateful that I'm into this industry to learn all the different character development. I look to other people to see and learn from them, learn their mannerism, and figure out what they're doing. Sometimes I'll ask them, what are they doing? And I also interrupt them to know what's going on. You know, I scratch my brain to know what's going on. And I really enjoy this. I really want to be a part of this industry. Um, I really enjoy my life and I love acting. As an actress, I really want to do this. And thank you. Thank you for asking me about being a part of your industry. And I hope that you understand why I'm doing this and it's coming from my heart. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. So I guess we can just jump right into the questions here. So instead of asking, actually, am kind of curious because I might as well just ask the same old anyway. What is something that really got you started, that really made you want to start doing this in the first place? Like you can just share your little story here about your origins and yeah, just talk about what got you started in acting, writing, and doing all the stuff that you're doing now.
Okay, sure. Oh, well, let me go back to my childhood. I remember watching my mom in the kitchen, washing, cooking, and I will always ask her, to show me a dance and or have her look at me while I'm dancing. And mom would say she's busy or she's doing something. And of course, my dad, he really enjoys watching me dance. And I would try to act out because I'm a little girl. I wanted their attention. I will move things off the kitchen table and I'll stand on the table. And this was back in the 70s. We had that large old fashioned TV, and I would just push the TV out the way and have them look at me. It's all about me. And my parents would sit on the couch and watch me. And my dad, he's an actor too, and he influenced me to become an actress. So I blame him. Um, well, I do understand that growing up, I used to play with the kids in the neighborhood. Well, I didn't play a lot with the kids in the neighborhood. So I missed out on my childhood. My parents moved to another country, and it was very difficult trying to know how to read, what to do, and they were very supportive of me. When I went to college, that's when I started working because at that time I was an adult and tried to fast track forward with my life. I went to school for theatrical theater, and I felt like a kid again because I remember this is my playground. This is what I love. And I fell into that program or into that course and loved it. And I quit whatever I was doing, working, and just went to school and did it full time. My life became enriched by what I have learned. So, yeah, I went into theatrical theater when I was in school, and it started when I went to the deaf school. And it felt really, I can't forget that feeling.
Me.
It was good. I felt
I,
like this is me again. This is my passion, and I loved it. And I'm fortunate to find something that I love. There's a lot of people who don't find what they love, but I'm fortunate to find what I love.
It's amazing. I I think when I got started in the industry, it was because I came from a background of improv and doing shows for elementary, and then voiceover just kind of came to me, which you can kind of see behind me. I have my little booth. I'm never, there's not a day that goes by where I'm not recording something. I literally just did an
I do
audition
see
literally
the
before I
pictures
started.
behind you.
I'm sorry?
I do see the pictures behind you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it's just a lot of stuff that I have from like, they have like comic conventions and stuff. And yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know if you can see, but this is like the closet right here, and it is kind of like where I record in. I'm so sorry, it's kind of dark, but yeah, I'm pretty much not. Yeah, I never leave. I'm not never without my booth every single day. I'm just always behind it. Like if I have something to do, I just get up and just do my thing. So I never leave home. I'm literally just never leave without it because sometimes I would just do something like this and then I would just be called to do an audition. And it's kind of like, it's something that I just really enjoy doing and I love. And I just really want to trade it for anything else. I just really think that it's just so awesome that I can be literally behind my working space and just record literally at any time whenever I have work that I got to do. So, that's something that not too many people really get to say, really. And I'm just really beyond grateful and fortunate to do that. So I just wanted to point that out right now. um, unless if you have,
Congratulations.
yeah, thanks so much. Let me see.
Yes, and I really, really, really enjoy that. And thank you for sharing that with me. This is precious. And I just felt like we're on the same page here. We understand each other. It's like we click and understand what's going on. Thank you.
Yeah, I think my next question that I had for you was it was something related to doing on cam. Yeah. Oh, actually, yes, that was something else. So when you were doing the theatrical stuff, what was the biggest, like the thing that really stood out to you the most from your training and acting, and just how it really helped you grow and evolve into the person that you are today?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Well, I get involved with stage acting and film production, and I have learned so much, not just mental, but emotional. And it's very exploding. It's all about life and what does life mean. Once I understood the differences, the characters, I just felt like they have done their researches. And for me, I try to remove myself out the picture and own the character and become the character. And I do study the lines. And I tend to read beyond the line, the subtext, to find out what it means and what do I want to portray and what people want to see from this character that I'm acting so people understand what's going on. So this helps me to understand that I'm connecting with the character
Right.
and then I become the character. And although the layers from this character, I have to ask myself, what is this about? What is it about life? And go into depth about this character. And I continue to read and study this person. I am not afraid of anything or anyone. And I think death is great.
Ha.
Um, People born every day, people die every day. So it's a part of life. So I am not afraid of death. And that makes me feel better. And I enjoy life. I understand the meaning of life. And I go into depths and detail about life. Because if I were to be afraid of it, then I would have barriers and would not be able to go forward. So once I got past that, I'm good. I learned those stories, learned the background, and this helps me to understand life way better. Look at it from a different perspective. Look at the characters from different perspective. And I respect the character, respect the people that I work with, and just sort of like work with everyone. Yeah, did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I went
Uh,
off maybe I went off script a little bit, but
no, I mean, I on the show we go off script all the time, so you're fine. I just really think that it's just absolutely quintessential and just amazing how you mentioned you're not afraid of, I think it was death or death, one of the two, but I really think that it was just a very pivotal moment where I'm just so amazed at how you were just not afraid to share, like, oh, I'm not afraid of, this specific thing because, like, what's gonna happen when we go tomorrow or take our last breath? And it's like, you know what? I'm just really happy to be here in the moment. So that's not really something that I hear often. Like, when I have a lot
right.
of guests that I have on here, it's like we just talk about what how would we leave our legacy or how are we gonna be remembered for it when we pass away? But it's just really not the existential questions that I don't really get into very often, but whenever the moment or the time comes, it's like, yeah, we just have some of the most insightful and some of the most deep conversations that we can ever have. So I just really appreciate you sharing that. And I guess this kind of segues into the next question that I have here, which is, what is something that you find to be the most creatively fulfilling or just very, very something that very much means so much to you on a personal level about all your endeavors that you're doing? Acting, producing, writing, everything. Personal life, you name it.
Let's see. Absolutely. Well, for my personal life, I'm fortunate to have my mother who lived close by to me. My brother, he lives close to me as well. My husband is here with me. My children, they have left the nest. I'm an empty nester currently as we speak. But I do understand that once people come into my life, there's a purpose for that. And there's a purpose for why we're here. We're in and out of everyone's life, and everyone has their own experiences. If someone comes into my life and I meet them, there's a purpose for that. I have to ask why. They're teaching me something. and I find out more about myself every day. And I'm hoping that the other person will find out about themselves when I enter their lives.
Okay.
If I allow myself to be open minded, then I'm able to understand and connect with other people, grow. There might be some conflict, and we try to work through it to figure out what's going on. Instead of doing the blame game, we just look for someone coming into our life for a purpose, for me to learn, accept, grow, and mature. And I think this is the best thing that ever happened to me. And also, it is quite most challenging as well for me. Um,
I feel
I
that.
love challenges, by the way. However, it can be quite difficult, but I would like to grow and I love to grow.
Man. And earlier you mentioned self-care. I think it was mental health, but do you have any advice of just, regarding that? Anything that really helps you along the way that you kind of want to talk about? Like maybe the audience would like to get some input from your perspective? I'm sorry if the way I phrased the question sounds a little weird, but yeah, I'm just,
No, no,
just
no,
kind of
no, no.
curious.
You're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yes, I'd like to show others and guide them so they experience a better life. Once we accept challenges, that'll be the best instead of saying, "Oh, that's too hard," or "I can't." That would make the situation very worse, excuse me. Just say, "Yes, I can," and go and do it. And it's a part of life. How do I cope with all the different challenges? I just keep myself. Oh, I'm kind to myself. Excuse me. I try to be kind to myself and take care of myself. Don't be negative towards myself, but always be positive to myself. Be kind to myself. Sometimes it's best to step away from it, from the problem, focus on myself, do self care, go for a run, work out, enjoy what I like to do, different hobbies like art. I do sculpturing, I do ceramics, I do painting, and right currently I'm painting a project right now and it's upstairs. I'm happy to do that. Once I take a break from that, then I'll come back to the problem and now I can think clearly and then I can work through the problem. And it's very important to eat well, eat healthy. I mean, once in a blue moon, I don't eat very healthy. I'll eat a junk food here and there, but that's okay. But I love junk food. But once in a while, that's okay. But it's very important to know that you're comfortable with yourself. If there's some type of issues going in your life, um, take a nap, drink water, try to uplift myself, breathe, take those breathing exercises. It's very, very important. And this breathing exercise applies to acting, and I'm working on that prior to getting on stage and doing everything that I need to do. I need to learn to breathe, be one with myself, and that helps. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, I really think that it's really good, especially with workout, like, going to the gym. Like, I just started back going, so it has been helping me out a ton. And I also wanted to touch upon
Awesome.
something that, yeah, thank you. And I also want to touch upon something that is also kind of segues into, sorry, it segues to the next question, which is what is something that you've had to overcome when it comes to because you mentioned you love challenges, so what would you say were the biggest challenges and hurdles to overcome working as an actress?
Well, currently, I have an interpreter here on the screen with me,
Yeah.
and this is awesome for me.
Wow.
I felt I am as equal with you. Sometimes the low budget film and production, excuse me, cannot afford to pay for an interpreter for me. So I would have to try to figure out what I need to do. And I have overcome many things, and I try to work as hard as I can, three times, four times as much, because I love what I do. I really do. And this is the reason why I have to say yes to myself and keep pushing forward. I remember back in the days, it's very, very challenging when I did not have an interpreter, but I've taken workshops, theatrical workshop, movie industry workshop. Um, I've taken a lot of crash courses, and back then we did not have an interpreter. What I would do is I would take advantage of the student interpreter. They're not as certified. So I agree with them. We kind of worked some deal out. And I said, look, I will bargain with the student interpreter. And I said, I will help you with your American Sign Language, and you will interpret this class for me and tell me what's going on. And it was crazy. It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach. But today we have an interpreter, and I feel like this is a luxury. I can connect with you, I can communicate with you, and this is the most challenging of all compared to back in the days. And today, I have this service. It's an access to communication. It's a slow process, but we need more interpreters in this field. And also teach other interpreters how to communicate with me. My family learn how to communicate with me through American Sign Language. So it's the good model so we can communicate with each other.
And if you like to name any projects that you've worked on that left a huge significant impact on you, and those are just mainly the ones that you're just so blessed to be a part of, and this is why, and those are the projects that make you go back to your child and just, remember why you just love doing this every day for a living. And any anecdotes if you want to
Yes.
share as well. Yeah, totally fine with me.
Well, there's one stage acting that I have done, and I have enjoyed it the most. It's called the Oliver Twist. You do remember, okay?
Yeah, I actually, I, I'm trying to remember, like, what got me exposed to Oliver Twist, but I don't even remember. It's been long ago, but I know that play. Yeah, it's something that's been talked about many times on this podcast. So yeah, I'm just like, maybe I might as well just revisit it sometime. But I'm sorry, don't mean to interrupt you. Keep continue.
Oh, okay, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm just
But that's
getting
fine.
into
That's fine.
musicals again. So yeah,
Well, there's a
nerd.
Deaf West Theater in California, and I've worked with this group. We have many deaf actors and actresses, and we have people who can hear as well. We call them the hearing people, and they have been a part of us, and they helped us a lot, and they became the voiceover for us. We have voiceover actors on the stage, and it's amazing working with them. And also in regards to the character Nancy, I remember just being playful and just getting to know Nancy. She sings a lot. She's a very playful character. Um, and that was the best memory that I remember when I became a part of acting. The other one was the low budget film, excuse me, and I was a co-producer for that movie. It's called Since August. It's a very good movie. It was a very low budget type movie. We didn't have a
Yeah.
lot of money, but the stories about this um, movie, I loved it. We didn't have an interpreter, but there was an interpreter that we work with, and she really worked with us very well. That was a good movie as well. Many different experiences working with the different production. It's a very different experience. I have learned a lot from the film producers as well. They're very talented. The directors are awesome and work with other actors as well. And I want to emphasize that me using the American Sign Language, I would change that language into script. And also the script I can change back into the American Sign Language. And
Right.
sometimes the message gets lost in translation. And
Ma-
and you try to figure out how to keep the intent, the originality of the message. And it's very difficult to do. For me, this is very beneficial because I have learned how to transcribe the English language, how to build the language. What does it mean in American Sign Language versus what does it mean in the English language? So this helps me a lot. I
More.
learned to bridge between both languages. And I thank all those people who have worked with to help me through this. And this has been beneficial throughout my life going forward.
Saying, yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And I really think that when we have that one project that just feels so just life changing in a way, it can really change your perspective on just life and everything in general. So I just really appreciate you for, being willing to share about those experiences. I don't have much else to say, but yeah, just thank you. If you'd also like to talk about anything else that you're really excited about at this time, like anything that we might expect to see from you in the future, any projects, and where can people check out your works, if you're active on any social media, yeah, I think now would be the time to self-promote, as they say.
You are right. You're right. Well, one second. She's try again. You're a little frozen. She's a little frozen. I want to make sure she starts one more time again. Yeah, she's frozen.
Gotta
One
love
second.
Zoom. Oh,
Well, she said for social media, I do connect with social media. Um, I like to get on social media a lot, but it's hard to commit to being on social media. hmm I'd like to connect with everyone so people know what's going on. And that's one thing I love about the interview and interviewing with me.
Yeah.
This forces me to get on social media. And thank you for doing that, for pulling me in and being a part of this interview. And I'd like to do this more often, have more access to social media. And the reason for social media, this is what I need to ask myself. There has to be a reason, a good reason, to get on social media and explain. Right now, I'm very excited about my next project. Right now, I'm currently developing or making a production. It's a phase right now, and I'm working with Jed Dickerson, and he's the producer for Coda. I am so excited to work with him. I want to take all my script to him so he can produce it, put it out there in the public so it impact everyone who watches this movie. Um, I want all my cultural experiences to be a part of this movie so people in the community can understand what's going on in the deaf community. I'm very passionate about this. And this movie, give me 1 second. She froze on my end. We're having some internet glitches going on. Sorry about that. This movie starts from back in the day, and it started with religion. It goes back to the Bible, to the Old Testament. And so we take this and incorporate that into acting. Sorry, she's a little frozen right now. There's some glitches going on. She said, I am so sorry about this. Okay, let's try one more time. Like what we're doing right now, what I'd like to do is to help or to teach others, teach people how to learn, not just to teach and stuff things down their throat, but to learn through stories, to learn and enjoy. Once people learn and they like what's going on, they can understand my culture, my language, and I want to expose other people to get accustomed to watching this movie. So if I can show it as much as possible, people will understand. And once people understand what's going on, accept my deaf community, accept my language, then they will know and understand and be a part of the language as well. And I'm really excited about this. So please spread the message. I'm very happy for anyone who wants to be a part of this production, who wants to learn more about it. Come on in. Come on in. Be a part of it. We have investors right now, but if you want to be a part of this and learn more about it, feel happy to let me know and I'll be able to share some information with you guys. So reach out, talk to me. I'm happy to share.
Any last parting words that you'd like to, or at least any last bit of advice that you'd like to close out on before we conclude this? Okay.
Let's see. I would love to give my love to all of you. I want all of you to have this opportunity to understand what's going on, understand what life is about. Life is awesome. It is awesome, like crazy awesome. And I want you guys to feel the love and the excitement that I have that I want to share with you guys. I know, back in the days things were tough and challenging, but today doors are open for me. And I have enjoyed, my life, myself, and I cherish my life. And I want you guys to have that same rich feeling that I have. And I thank you. If it weren't for you guys, this would not have happened right now. And because of you, you gave me this opportunity. You make this become real to me. And I am passionate about every one of you guys. And that's my final part into you guys.
Thank you so much for joining me today. And it's been such a huge honor of having you on the show. And, just for somebody who has a very unique and a very interesting perspective on just life, the industry, I just really appreciate you doing this. And especially special things as well to the interpreter for doing a lot of yeah, just helping us out a lot during this interview. Like, you did amazing. Thank you so much. And to Antoinette, I wish you all the best. And to anybody watching this, that might be, it should be probably up online, like later this week or however it works out. But I don't really give like a estimate release dates on these, but you should expect to see this out very soon, either audio and video as well. So thank you so much for watching Station Square with Robert Jackson. And until next time, folks, take care and keep on shining out there. Live long and prosper. Alrighty. See you later. Bye.